Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. We are getting into another very contentious conversation. NRM propaganda in schools or civic lessons? That's the question that we are having right here on this show. We have Richard Mugisha, the communications officer at the National Secretariat for Corps, for Patriotism Corps. We would like to know, there have been concerns that the NRM is hiding behind school patriotism clubs to run its propaganda among the youth. Is it true or false? We have Richard Mugisha to expound on this. A very good morning. That's my first question. You've been running, there are concerns that NRM is hiding behind these patriotism clubs to run its propaganda among the youth. Is it true or false? And if not, what are these patriotism clubs all about?
It's absolutely false.
Go ahead.
And I insist that it is not true, that we have anything to do with partisan politics. But before that, maybe I first introduce myself again. I'm Richard Mugisha, the Communications Officer for the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps. The Patriotism Corps Secretariat was initiated in 2009 and launched by His Excellency the President. The Secretariat started in 2010. This Secretariat, obviously, it's under office of the President, as you may have known or you may know now. And the program is entirely about patriotism. Unless people who don't know how to define patriotism or deliberately want to misinform are the ones who say that probably NRM, the program is partisan. I don't even want to say that it is NRM or FDC, because at one point, people here sometimes don't differentiate between a government program and a party program.
Okay, help us understand how this program will leave the Secretariat all the way into the schools. What is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming at. I want to define patriotism first. And I have several definitions, but all of them almost get one. Patriotism is one's love and the willingness to sacrifice for one's country. Then it's that deep sense of national consciousness that every citizen must have.
So you're inculcating a sense of patriotism among the students.
Actually,
love your country, love your neighbor.
Yeah. And for us in schools, those have been in school of recent, like since 2014, when we rigorously started the serious program on the ground, know very well that in schools, what we teach about patriotism, we actually bring it down to mere values. Those values that we think that we share as a common good. We start with a value of love. Can I remove this?
Please do. I wanted to tell you.
For audibility.
And there is also social distancing. Go ahead, Richard.
So we talk of, we have simplified them to mere values. Social values that we share, we would share.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah. Not necessarily do's and don'ts, but those what we supposed to be part of our lives. Love is one of them. 2 is sacrifice, responsibility, willingness to, discipline. Discipline includes time management, includes honesty, includes hard work, includes all other things. So when we get to that, because when you say that, every Ugandan will say that he loves the country. But when you say, what does it mean to love the country? He doesn't know. Others think that when you go on the street and you protest for reasons that you stand for, basically means patriotism. Well, it might be part of it, depending on the context. But
you had to link it to the peaceful protests.
Yeah,
go ahead, Richard.
Leave alone whether it can be peaceful. Even that context of peaceful protest sometimes is debatable.
So you don't believe these individuals are patriots in any way? They don't love their country by coming out to peacefully protest about the ailing situation in the country?
I gave that one of the examples.
And it was far-fetched.
Yeah, I'm saying...
Yes.
Maybe I should repeat.
Please rephrase.
What I'm saying, I'm saying that people sometimes think that going on the streets alone, I said it can be part of it, depending on the context. I hope now we are together.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Because I don't want to be dragged in the side of politics. I'm not a politician. I'm not here to talk about politics. There are people who are paid or are supposed to do politics, and that's their job.
But this is a program from the Office of the President that is making its way into schools, and people are concerned that maybe it's being used to spread propaganda of the NRM amongst our youth. You also have individuals who are saying we are not seeing any we are not seeing any opposition-leaning youth in these classes. Is there anything beyond what the patriotism clubs stand for?
Now, I have talked about, first of all, I've talked about the values.
Indeed.
What is NRM or opposition in love? Sacrifice, discipline, responsibility, saying time, please manage your time. Be hardworking, work for this country. Do all those with a conscience of this country. We normally tell them, this country has been here. It fed it raised our grandparents, it raised our it raised our fathers, our parents. It is raising you, and it's going to be here even after us. What's wrong with telling a child to do that? This divisive politics or divisive sectarian stuff that we cherish now so much are the one we are telling people. Please, beyond all these, there is a country called Uganda, which all of us share. Beyond your religion, beyond your tribe, beyond your race, beyond your sex, there is something we share in common, so long as you live on this ground. But to go back on your insistence of the Office of the President, sometimes I get perturbed with people whom we think they are well informed, bringing, I don't know whether it's deliberate or inadvertent. Office of the President, first of all, is a series of ministries. There is a Ministry of Integrity, there is a Ministry of Security, there is the Uganda AIDS Commission, actually IGG was still, there is the Department of Economic Monitoring, there is the State House. All those are under. Why don't you say that we should not talk about a Uganda AIDS Commission? Because it is the under Office of the President.
Commentators will not talk about the Office of the President alone. They will talk about why other organizations are not involved with the works of the Office of the President, since you're involving everyone and you're not being partisan. You get my point. If you can involve other political parties to come and talk to these students about civics, current affairs issues, and not only the Office of the President, you get what I mean. If you can get stakeholders from the FDC, DP, and show them that this is non-partisan, we can get everyone on board and actually acquaint you with the latest current affairs.
Incidentally, we have a program that we roll out. We have a work plan. We have what we do, arranged. One of the things that is part of our values is being non-partisan. I don't know how much research you have done about the guests we bring, for example, to facilitate or to talk.
You're here to tell us what kind of guests you bring to these patriotism clubs. So let us in. Who are some of those guests that you bring?
For example, when we are teaching, we teach the Constitution. Students must know the Constitution. They must know the resources this country has. They must know the resources this country has. They must know our history. They must know, apart from the resources, well, other things are values like their health, the environment, and the education. We bring people according to their expertise. I'm telling you, go out and start. We bring people according to their expertise.
Your job here, Richard Mugisha, is to acquaint the public about your work so that they understand what happens in these patriotism clubs. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we bring people according to their expertise. If we are talking about the resources in this country, we will bring someone either from the Ministry of Energy or from Uganda Wildlife Tourism Authority or Uganda Wildlife Authority. When we are talking about health, we bring people from NEMA. From Ministry of Health. I don't know whether when someone comes as a director of medical service, you take him as, because he's in government, then that means he's NRM or something. But basically what we do, we don't care about the color of what you are putting on, so long as you are coming in your expertise area and you are going to speak on issues that are not going to divide the students. So what you talked of NRM students, you know, it's very hard, and I want to assure, some of the viewers will agree with me. It's very hard to go in a secondary school like Nabingo, and then you say this one is FDC, don't. This one is NRM, don't. There is no way
you cannot stop them. It's
Eh.
them who will stop themselves from joining the clubs thinking they are NRM leaning. Are we moving together? I will stop from joining that club thinking that it is NRM leaning because I also have my independent views. That's what I'm saying, Richard Mugisha. So how best
but
can...
have you been in secondary school of late? I'm talking from experience, you're talking from imagination. When you get in the school and we are saying we are training S1s, I wish you had the student, I wish one day you randomly pick a patriotism member club in any school, and he comes here with me, or she comes.
I was
and
part
then
of
we
them,
talk.
but they were full of indoctrination. I never engaged in any of them.
Because you know, sometimes we bring our biases from home. I have noticed that when you come from a home that is entirely political, students tend to have those political inclinations
When they go to school.
When they go to school. But it also depends on which level. I rarely...
So when they enter school, it is the job of the patriotism clubs to actually get them back in line. They don't talk about politics, let's talk about issues that can actually unite our country.
We don't even stop them from talking about them. We just tell them what the right thing would be. And the best thing that you would tell a child in a secondary school is that please avoid divisive politics.
Right.
Concentrate. Because politics has confused even big people. So you can't start telling students to start politics in the secondary school.
How do we make the learning of civics, that is current affairs, accessible to all Ugandans or learners?
That is part of what we are doing. Though the ministry...
Not just those in school.
Yeah?
Not only those in school. All Ugandans.
All Ugandans. Yeah, we are rolling out a program. This program, one of the call from the people, they have been calling us to go out of schools program. But you know, as government programs run on mandate, when you assign duties, you assigned at where you should start and where you should stop. At the moment, we start from S1 up to university, and when when we are training, when we train people who go out there, or those who get our program and see what we do, they have been calling on us to go out in primary schools, even in public. The only problem in outside the schools is what you have said. People come with their biases. Some people don't even come because they have a feeling that this program is entirely partisan. But you know, there is this confusion which I think we should really understand. Someone says that I hate everything about government. He's a teacher in government school, but he doesn't like government. You might say, me, I don't want anything to do with this government. You are in a government school. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. But again, why do you think that when they talk patriotism, then that is a government program?
Okay.
That is NRM.
Richard Mugisha, I don't know if you think this is imagination, but 90% of the people who might get involved in the Chagulanyi protests are people who are not in school. Would you agree with that? So don't you think
I don't know.
people who are not in school, people who do not have that patriotism in their hearts, people who have not been enlightened, People who have been told the only way you can actually change this country is by getting onto the streets because they do not know any better. Don't you think now more than ever we should get patriotism classes all the way from the schools into the members of the public? Get these young men who are not in school, who are susceptible to being changed by the political messages that we are seeing right now.
I don't know why you have struggled so much to put me in a situation of being a partisan, because I don't see where the name like Chaguranyi comes in this thing. It does not arise. There is no way this question would raise a name. You would raise it in a because I don't want to look pro or against a certain
So if we've reopened schools and students are back in school, who is getting engaged in the protest? It's those who are out of school. Don't you think it is time to actually target these individuals before we go? We have like 30 seconds.
No, by the way, for starters, protesting is not bad. It's only bad when it becomes violent. When it becomes violent and it becomes unlawful.
All right. Richard Mugisha, I'm afraid we've run out of time, but many thanks for having made the time to come to Morning at NTV. It's been very, very enlightening and I had a great time. Those opposition-leaning students in these schools will now be coming to these patriotism clubs because they are not partisan in any way. Thank you for setting the record straight.
Thank you.
And of course, you're still watching Morning at NTV. Let's take another breather. We'll be right back.